What's going on, everyone? This is Austin from Calling Our Shot, and we are back for some player props and spreads in the NBA for Tuesday, May 25th. Let's recap yesterday, a 4-2 day, and it should have been much better than that, but we had Giannis over 29.5 points, easy cash. Brook Lopez over 4.5 rebounds, cashes in the first half, and Bucks minus 4.5 might have been the easiest money you could possibly make. Game never in question after the first couple minutes. Bucks absolutely blew the brakes off of the Miami Heat. Also, shout out to whoever had Dwayne Dedmon to be the Miami Heat leading scorer. Yeah, yikes, you're not going to win a game when that's happening. As for the second game, because we went 3-0 in the Bucks game, we went 1-2. Michael Porter Jr. over 24.5 points. He only shoots 13 times. What can you do there? I believe he had 18 points. If he easily got up to that 17, 20 shots attempts like we expected, he would have easily cashed this, but they did not stop Nikola Jokic. So what can you do there? Yusuf Nurkic over 3.5 assists. Never stood a chance, but he fouled out. He had 1 assist in the first 5 minutes. Yeah, that's about all I can do. And then the over 226.5 hits easily. 4-2 day. 9-3 overall for the COS community. Logan went 5-1 on the MLB side. So go check out his video after that. Maybe we made you some money. Maybe you want to join the COS All-Star community like these people. Less than $3 a month, you get some cool perks, and you get to show Logan and I some support for these picks. We appreciate you guys. We got another 3 games on today. We're talking about Boston versus Brooklyn, the Lakers versus the Suns, and the Mavericks versus the LA Clippers. If you want to join the Discord, it is linked down below. Over almost 1,700 members in there. And lastly, click that like button, click that subscribe button. Let's keep running it up. And where are we starting? We're starting in the Boston game, and we're starting with Jayson Tatum, over 30.5 points, minus 108. And you know, there's no way around it, man. He was not good in game 1. A big 6 for 20, 22 points, 5 fouls. That's not going to get the job done for his Boston Celtics. But tonight, I anticipate another 20 to 25 shot attempts. And, you know, you saw what he could do when he shoots a lot and he gets in a groove. You saw him drop 50 points on the Wizards. And while the Nets play a little more defense than the Washington Wizards do, I still think Tatum is unguardable. I don't think they have any answer for him. And he's going to play much better than he did yesterday. And there's no way Tatum sits around and watches his teammates, Evan Fournier, Kemba Walker, Marcus Smart, build a brick house out there. Absolutely no chance. And I think he attacks the rim at will. I mean, you got to look at it. Nets don't have a lot of rim protection. And the 11 free throws from Jayson Tatum in game 1 were very promising. A positive sign of him being aggressive, getting to the rim. And tonight, I think we get another big Celtics game. I think you get Tatum shooting a bunch, and I think that Tatum should approach that 40-minute mark, and he should be able to hit this over 30.5 points. You look at prior to the game 1, the last 2 games he played against the Brooklyn Nets, he scored 31 and 38 points. I think today he's in line for another good game. We're taking it. Jayson Tatum over 30.5 points, locking it in. Moving on, we're starting with the brow. Anthony Davis over 24.5 points, minus 108. Anthony Davis got outplayed by DeAndre Ayton, sort of, in game 1. I mean, Anthony Davis was not good. DeAndre Ayton was great, and while Ayton did a lot of that against Andre Drummond, which we'll be talking about in a second, I still think Anthony Davis bounces back. Everyone always talks about, you know, the Lakers feel him out for the first game. Pause. They feel him out, and then game 2, they bounce back. Anthony Davis scored 13 points of 5 of 16 shooting, and normally he bounces back in the next game. Just 2 weeks ago, Anthony Davis dropped 42 points on this Phoenix Suns team. Prior to last game's stinker, he had scored 25+ in 3 straight games against the Suns. I think we're taking Brow to light up the scoreboard in a big way. His rebounds is also probably a good bet as well. It was at 8.5, minus 128. He's had double-digit rebounds in 5 straight games prior to last game when he only had 7. I think he plays a lot of minutes today. I think they play him at the center position more than you'd expect. And I think Anthony Davis easily gets this 25 points tonight. No doubt about it. He's one of the best players in the NBA. And the Lakers know that their whole team kind of revolves around him. Sure, you got LeBron, and he's going to show up and play well. But Anthony Davis, LeBron, Frank Vogel all know they got to be dialed in to get a must-win today. Lakers' success is normally tied to Anthony Davis' success, and I think they get him motivated, and he plays big today. Anthony Davis, over 24.5 points. Same game, Andre Drummond. This might be a passion play. I'm taking his under 17.5 PRAs, minus 128. Sure, you could look at it, and he's hit this over in 6 of his last 7 games. But you know what? Frank Vogel is not an idiot. He knows Drummond's bad, and I'm sorry, he's seen enough. You've given him enough minutes, and he knows this is not a good matchup for him. Ayton can destroy him on both sides of the ball, and no one wants, and I mean no one wants to watch Andre Drummond try to score in the post. Absolutely no chance. I don't even think he'll see 17.5 minutes today, let alone get 17.5 PRAs. Sure, could he pile up, you know, easily 5-10 rebounds in like 5 minutes? Yes, but I don't think he plays a lot of minutes today. I think you see more Montrezl Harrell, who played pretty well off the bench, and I think Marc Gasol gets some minutes today. Sure, you're like, Marc Gasol, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, whatever. Marc Gasol, he's a better defender than Andre Drummond is, and he's a better facilitator on offense. No one wants to see Drummond posting up. And I promise you, if you haven't seen Drummond post up, I hope you don't have to if you watch this game. This is just anticipating. I'm just predicting what I think Frank Vogel will do, and I think it's going to be less Andre Drummond. He might not even start the game for all I know. He could get benched. And so I wouldn't be surprised to see him not get near this over. Could he hit it easily? Yeah, but I'm taking it. Andre Drummond, under 17.5 PRAs. It's a passion play, but I feel confident in it, and I'm locking it in. My last player prop of the day before we get into two spreads and over-unders, we're talking about the Claw. Kawhi Leonard, over 25.5 points, minus 120. And today, Kawhi's got to play like the superstar he is. The Clippers are still favored 6.5 points, and they lost outright on that same line in Game 1, but I do think they might get the win today. But you look at it, even though the Clippers were bad, Mr. Kawhi Leonard still 26 points and 9 of 22 shooting, still hit this over, and he's feasted on the Dallas Mavericks as a Los Angeles Clipper. He has played them 12, yes, 12, count them, 12 times against the Dallas Mavericks, and he's averaged nearly 30 points, 29.8 points per game, 49% shooting from the field, and he's hit the over in 10 of those 12 games. The 2 losses coming during the regular season. During their 6-game playoff series in the bubble, he hit it in all 6 games. He scored 32, not just 26, which is what we need today. He scored 32 plus points in 5 of those 6 matchups back in the bubble. The one game he didn't score 32 points. Yeah, okay, fine. He only scored 29. I guess that'll do. I think the Mavericks don't have anyone to guard him. Sure, you can put DFS, Dorian Finney-Smith on him if you really want to. I think he's playing. I don't really know. Maxi Kleber, I don't know if he's playing either. But it's a mismatch, and I think the Clippers need this win. Dallas Mavericks, I think they can afford a loss. They want to go back home where they'll have home court advantage. See the Claw locking in offensively and defensively, having a big game. Wouldn't mind his PRA line, but in my opinion, if he's going to hit the PRA line, he's going to have to score the points. So I'm letting the Claw eat tonight, taking it. Kawhi Leonard over 25.5 points. And moving on to the Celtics versus Nets, we're taking the over, 227. And here's why. These two teams could not buy a basket in Game 1. They combined for just 197 points. Boston shot 37% from the field. Kemba and Tatum shot 11 for 36. That's not too great. The Nets shot 8 for 34 from behind the arc. Shots just weren't falling. Very similar to that Miami Heat Milwaukee Bucks Game 1 where they couldn't buy a basket. They went to overtime, so the game looked higher scoring, but they couldn't buy a basket, and then the Bucks just beat the brakes off of them. And I don't expect the Nets or the Celtics to shoot as well as the Bucks did. They were historic yesterday, but the Nets are a better offensive team than just scoring 103 points. Same for the Boston Celtics. They only cracked 94 points, I believe. You look at the Nets, they average 14 threes per game. They only made 8. I think they make more today. And, both of these teams are very capable of scoring 115 points. You could see a final score around 120 to 112 or 120 to 115, something like that. I think they easily combined for 230 points, and that's why we're taking the over, 227 points, locking it in. Moving on to my last play, and it's a teaser. Yes, a teaser. If you don't know what a teaser is, you take 2 spreads or over-unders, or as many spreads and over-unders as you'd like. You combine them, and you can reduce the number. So you'll see my teaser, boom, on the bottom of the screen. Nets minus 4.5 and Clippers minus 1.5. Plus 100 value, and I like both of these 2 teams to win today. You got the Nets, they're 9.5 point favorite, so I've reduced it by 5 points, 5-point teaser, down to 4.5. I think they should win today. I don't know if they would cover that 9.5 originally, but they should be able to cover 4.5. That's not asking for too much. The Clippers were bad in Game 1, and they're still 6.5 point favorites. While I can't trust them to cover 6.5, although they probably should if they're going to win. They could beat the brakes off of this Mavericks team. I do think the 1.5 is much safer. They can't go down 0-2 and then travel to Dallas. They got to get a must-win today. And basically in a teaser, you're just asking for Vegas to do their job, right? They're usually dead on with some of these spreads. You'll see, I believe Brooklyn Nets were, 8.5, 9.5 point favorites in the Game 1. They won exactly by 9. And, I think this teaser is really good. Nets minus 4.5, Clippers minus 1.5, plus 100 value. I love to see that. And then I did a couple other plays that I did consider. Lakers minus 2. I'm not going to make it an official play, but it seems like a popular play, so don't love that. Harden over 8.5 assists. That looks pretty good. A weird one, KCP over 1.5 assists. He's hit that in 13 of 15 games. It's like minus 140, minus 150. So check those out. But let's recap all of our picks. We're talking the teaser, Nets minus 4.5, Clippers minus 1.5. Then we had Celtics over 227. Then we had the Claw, Kawhi Leonard over 25.5 points. Then we have Andre Drummond under 17.5 PRAs, Anthony Davis over 24.5 points, and Jayson Tatum over 30.5 points. Those are my 6 plays of the day. I really hope they help you guys out. Go check out Logan's video right after this one. I'll link it right here. If you want to make a parlay of those, feel free to go for it. I just don't want to send it in because there's only 3 games on today, and it's going to be hard to hit a parlay. But I believe in you guys. Check out Logan's video right there, and I appreciate all you guys' support. Click that subscribe button if you are new. Let's keep running it up, calling our shot to the moon. Shout out to you guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.